And now it's time for our PrizePicks Elite Entry segment, where we compare our projections to the PrizePicks lines to build some entries. Sean, where are you going with your first PrizePicks Elite Entry for week 2?
So my first one's going to be in this Thursday night football game. I'm going with Terry McLaurin under 5.5 receptions. I'm projecting this closer to 4.7. So I think there's a ton of value here. This is a game where, first off, no Ryan Fitzpatrick. So we're going to have Tyler Heineke under center. I think the football team is going to be pretty cautious as a result. I mean, it's a short week. They don't really have much time to prepare Heineke. So I think it's going to be a run-heavy game script. I don't think this Giants offense is going to force the football team into a pass-heavy game script. Either way, I like the under here. He should be seeing a lot of James Bradbury. This is a tough matchup. There's just a lot to like on this under, so I'm going under here.
Yeah, Terry may start the season a little slower than I know most of his owners would like, but still one of the better receivers in the week. He had a crazy catch in week 1. I don't know if you got to see where his head was
catch of the week.
His body was like almost parallel to the ground. He just did a whip around. I mean, it was amazing.
He's going to look really good on his 4 catches in this game. There's no denying it, but he's only going to catch 4 balls. So
I like that. For my PrizePick Elite Entry, my first one, I am going with that same game, staying in the game, Thursday night football, Giants, Washington, Saquon Barkley under 52.5 rushing yards. Okay. Obviously Saquon's not 100%. He was splitting work in week 1. He got only 10 carries, but more importantly, and this is why I was saying I worry about Saquon, even if he's healthy, because he got 26 yards in those 10 carries. The Giants struggled to run the ball no matter which halfback they had out there, just 33 yards on 14 carries. That's not even 3 yards a carry, people. But you look at Washington and what they did on defense, they held the Chargers to 91 yards on 25 carries for their running back. So the Washington allowed well under 4 yards per carry to the Chargers, and Austin Eckler is a pretty good running back. So I don't see Saquon on a short week clearing 52.5 rushing yards. I would bet this down to about 48.
Yeah, I like that as well. And this is something that we're projecting pretty close to this number. But this is one of those things where we go beyond the projections a bit. He has a super low floor, like he said, heading into Thursday night football with the short week. Very concerned about his workload. I don't know how this Giants offensive line is going to be able to block this, stud defensive line of Washington. So it's going to be tough sledding for Barkley. I'm with you here on the under.
Yeah, you got the offensive line going on the road on a short week. That's never easy for those big guys. So I like that one. Who is your second PrizePicks Elite Entry pick for week number 2?
I'm going under 74 receiving yards for Deebo Samuel. He looked really good last week, but of course that was against the Lions. Everyone's going to look good against the Lions. We still need to see what's up with Brandon Ayuk. I think he should be able to play this week. I think his absence was mostly injury related. So hopefully he gets back in the fold here. 74.5 is really, really high. Even for a guy like Deebo, I know they're going to scheme up touches, but this is a much tougher matchup this week against the Eagles compared to the Lions. So I'm going under 74 receiving yards for Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I mean, 74.5, that is a Justin Jefferson-esque line. That's a really high number for Deebo Samuel. So I'm all over that under, and I'm going to take a similar one. A little bit of an overreaction to week 1, I think. Corey Davis under 68.5 receiving yards against the New England Patriots. Now, first of all, Zach Wilson averaged under 5 yards an attempt against Carolina. You think New England, after seeing Corey Davis being really the only Jets pass catcher of note in week 1, isn't going to scheme to take him out of the game? I mean, New England's going to come with a plan on Corey Davis. 68.5. That's around the number you had for AJ Brown against the Cardinals with no corners in week 1. Just to put this in some perspective, 68.5 is a high number. So I'm going to, the Patriots only gave up 8 catches to wide receivers. 8 catches to all Dolphins wide receivers in week number 1. And they're going to be gunning for Davis. So under 68.5 receiving yards for Corey Davis.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Corey Davis looked really, really good week 1. However, they were without Jamison Crowder and Keelan Cole. Both guys might return this week, so they're gonna command more of a target share than Braxton Berrios and Jeff Smith and Denzel Mims. So and Elijah Moore disappointed. So I think either way, Corey Davis will see a much lower target share this week. I love the under as well.
Yeah, I have this around 55. So I love, if you're listening to this podcast later in the week, I still love this entry where you go under Deebo Samuel and under Corey Davis, because I think you have a pretty good bit of wiggle room with both of those guys after those big week 1 performances. To recap, we have Sean going with Terry McLaurin under 5.5 receptions and Deebo Samuel under 74.5 receiving yards. And I am going Saquon Barkley under 52.5 rushing yards and Corey Davis under 68.5 receiving yards.